I think we have 76 degrees outside. So that's blazingly hot here in Seattle. May not be where you're at. I thought we would play with the whites or some version of whites, the reds, some versions of red, and the blues, some versions of blue. I thought what I would do is paint out one of the reds and we can guess what it is. Maybe not the brand ambassadors because they just get it like every single time the first time. So I'll paint some out and you can say what the characteristics are. But I do want to show you some stuff. Let's see. I always ask about it, so let me show you here. This is something we're looking at. This is brucite. Oh, here. This is brucite. So brucite is a yellow mineral. It's in the magnesium family. Because we have no yellows in the primatech.
You can get the blue there.
I'm sorry. And so these are 95 degrees. Susan, 95 degrees in Texas. Oh my gosh. These are chrysocolla. So these are specimens. These are not going to be made into paint. These are, I collect specimens. So these are specimens. This is chrysocolla.
What is that called, John?
Chrysocolla.
Chrysocolla. It's beautiful.
So this is one version of it.
Where's it from, John?
These are from Indonesia. And this is the other version of it.
Wow.
So they're actually
They
minerals.
look like crystallized coral.
That, you know what? That's exactly what I said too. Because they do. They look just like coral.
Yeah.
They're very beautiful. And then those are just mineral specimens. Those are just going to go into my collection. And this is tourmaline. So you always think, I always think of anyways, black tourmaline. This is another variety. You can see they're terminated through and then through the back side, they're terminated all the way through. So for those of you who like minerals, I mean, I love minerals. They're just gorgeous. That's why people take so much time in taking them out of the earth. You know, it's not like gold mining or silver mining where it's just bulldozer after bulldozer. These are just hand tools, and people will spend days or weeks, almost like a skeleton, like a dinosaur, for example. They'll just take huge amounts of time, and they're just gorgeous. I think they're gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you make pigments from these?
No. These are going to go into my collection. No pigment. Possibly this. This is brucite. This is possibly. We're going to see if it works out. So, because we're trying to search for a yellow. So,
How do you spell that?
Brucite.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Okay, so I thought we would play around with different colors today. Reds, blues, and whites, because it's the kind of the festive time of year that everybody is getting outside with family and friends and having fun. So I was going to do a couple of reds and a couple of blues, and the brand ambassadors are also going to be doing it, and others that are watching will be doing it. Love to see what you guys come up with as well. So let me do this plate here, and I'll do this one. You can guess to see if you can guess what it is. Try not to show the tube. Okay, so And if you could watch Facebook, 'cause I'm not on Facebook. I'll see if I can get on Facebook. Any ideas?
Pearline Scarlet?
It's not Caroline Scarlett, but that is a phenomenal guess.
Anthraquinoid, Scarlett.
It's in the same family as the Pearline. That's so close. And from what you see here, that was an excellent guess. It's Pearline red. So it's very red in front of me. Again, this little camera is not so good in bringing that across. So that was a fantastic guess. You guys are great guessers. So the Pearlines are quite beautiful. Another- And if you have one you want someone, if everybody to guess on, including me, you can go ahead and show me yours too. It's kind of beautiful. Any ideas?
Is
Pearline
that Mayan red?
violet. Pearline
It's not Pearline Violet.
Is it deep scarlet?
something.
It's not Deep Scarlet.
Mayan red?
Carmine.
I'll give you this much. It's a
Carmine.
It's a genuine.
Oh. Red Jasper genuine?
Which
Is
one?
it garnet?
Red Jasper genuine?
That's a good guess. Who said Garnet?
Me, Ashley.
That's correct. It's Garnet.
Wow.
What gave it away?
The depth of it. It's so rich.
Okay, here's another one. This one is interesting in that it's has a phenomenal history to it. It was used by-
Alizarin crimson. Yes,
Yes, Elizabeth Crimson.
good. At least one. Because you said history.
Yeah, it has a great history. It's a cold hard derivative. It's really quite beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
Let's switch over to blue. Can't seem to get these brushes absolutely perfectly clean when I switch colors.
Is that the King's Royal Blue?
It's not King's Royal Blue. That's a good-
Manganese.
I'm sorry,
Manganese?
it's not manganese.
Cerulean blue?
One more time.
Cerulean blue.
Cerulean blue, is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's correct. It's actually a super popular color. Seems like it's on quite a few of the brand ambassadors' palettes. A very pretty blue. I like the King's blue too. Whoever said that's a really pretty color too.
John,
Yes.
I have had my cerulean blue separate into the blue and then the medium. So I have to stir it in every time.
You
Is
don't-
that weird or normal?
Yeah, you don't need to keep the gum arabic. If it's the gum arabic is what you're talking about, you don't need to keep that.
Oh,
No, you don't need to keep that. You don't need to stir it back in again.
oh,
So pigments.
okay,
will-
that'll make life easier.
Yeah, pigments will decide how much of the gum arabic they actually keep. So sometimes when it's a very dense pigment, for example, a lot of the Permatex, they compact the type, they'll push the gum arabic out, but keep what they need, but push the excess out. And that can happen to other colors that have a heaviness to them or some other quality of the pigment, and you can just dispose of that. You don't have to keep.
Okay, that'll make life easier. Thank you.
Not a
And
problem.
that's French ultramarine blue in my window.
You know, I would say that's what it looks like on mine too. It's not, but I can see why you're saying that. So this is a color, this is a pigment and a family that's widely used in industry. I mean, by the thousand tons. I mean, just it's amazing how much. Very, very staining, very beautiful.
Phthalo blue.
Halo.
It's phthalo blue. And if you want the extra cherry on the top, you have to tell me what shade.
Red shade.
Red.
Green shade,
Yellow.
red shade, sorry, red shade.
That was a good guess. It's green shade.
No,
Ah, gotta fix my monitor.
No, this is really my camera's not that great of a camera. But I found even with my phone that it tries to compensate. And sometimes when you're looking at colors, you don't want it to compensate. You just want to like show me what you're seeing. This one's neat. You guys ask about this one a lot. I don't know how many of you paint with it, but let me get a spot here and I'll show it to you. While we're all on, why don't we play who's got the highest temperature? My temperature is pretty minimal right now. I think it's 76 degrees. Does anybody have, I saw somebody had 90 in Texas. Does anybody have over 100? I hope not. But I'm sure it's coming.
Trina down in Sacramento says it's supposed to be 100 there today.
Oh my gosh. I went to UC Davis, which is 12 miles out of Sacramento. And I remember I'd be there during the summer. I would be taking classes sometimes in summer at Davis. And they would flood the rice fields. And so you'd have high heat and high humidity. And that is just so not a good combination.
Well, remember last year, John, it was 107 here in Everett.
God. I think we were gone. We were actually, it was.
Oh, you missed it then. It
Yeah,
was
you missed
horrible. It was 112 in Olympia.
Oh my God, that is just way too hot. So,
Stephanie is in North Carolina, I'm thinking, and she says it's 103 at the shore and
Oh
the
my
water
gosh.
temperature is 80 degrees.
Oh, like bath water.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tess
So
says 106 in Cathedral City, California.
Oh my gosh. That is hot. So what do you think? It's bluer on the screen that is here in front of me. What do you think that one is?
This
The
manganese.
cobalt blue?
Nope, it's not cobalt.
Manganese.
It's not manganese.
Verditor.
One more time.
Verditor blue.
Yeah, that's correct.
What did Mark say?
Verditor blue.
Verditor blue.
But
Erditer.
And Mark, have you used it?
No, I haven't. Don't have that one.
So what made you guess that?
It's one of the colors I want to get.
Absolutely correct. Okay. This one's gonna be a give me. And I think some of you have, do any of you have the iridescence?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to try an iridescent? We'll have somebody try to guess what the iridescent is, or
What?
any of the luminescent, actually.
One of the favorite luminescent is a duochrome cable blue.
Hmm.
So for those of you viewing, what is your favorite red? And why is it your favorite red? Or what makes it really interesting in your eyes?
My favorite is Quin Red because I love the way it mixes with things like, what do you call it? It mixes really well with ultramarine and with Prussian and makes some really wonderful purples.
Very cool. Thank you. So what do you think about this one? It'll super red, super red.
Oh,
The
wow.
Pyro red?
Red.
Pyrrole?
It's pyro red, yep.
Yeah.
That is my favorite.
Yeah, same mine too.
Also, Mark?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get Facebook working here.
Hmm.
So this is, what do you think that one is?
That is maroon.
This is this, and this mixed together.
All right.
Mhm.
So this is French ultramarine, and this is
Oh.
French ultramarine with pyro red.
Wow.
So Mark, are you brushing anything out?
No, wasn't set up for it today, unfortunately.
No problem. And how about you, Angela?
I am painting, yes.
Let me
The
see what
blue.
you're. So Ethel, can we see Angela's?
Hang on. Angela.
Hello.
There. And I'm gonna put you on.
Ooh.
I'm trying
Oh,
to
that's
do
really
a
cool.
landscape. Does it seem a mountain? Several mountains?
Yeah.
Certainly.
That's what was my intention.
Nice.
Wow, that's a lot of granulation.
Yes, this granulation, guess from what color?
Oh, boy. I would-
There.
Ultramarine. This one, no.
Is it lunar blue?
Yes, lunar blue.
Ah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yes. This is manganese. This is
Yes.
a mix of a Prussian blue, ultramarine blue, and white. Here I've used white with cobalt and white with ultramarine a little bit. This is manganese, and this is Prussian blue. Lunar blue. I'm going to finish with the lunar blue here. it's got such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful granulation. Look, you don't have to do anything. It just granulates on its own.
And which white did you use?
Excuse me?
Which white did you use?
The white is, wait a minute, I will look for it. It's titanium white, I think.
Titanium, okay.
Yeah, it's titanium white. I cannot find the tube now, but it's titanium, I'm sure. Maybe it's under here somewhere. No, I cannot see it. Anyway, it's titanium white, and it combines so well with all the other colors. It makes the softer, it makes a softer tone. And if you mix
Yes.
it with grays, it's very good for backgrounds. So the paper is a bit inclined. I don't know if you see it, but yeah. So that's my painting for the blues. And then I will do another one for the reds.
You already have it, or you're gonna make one?
No, I'm going to make one now.
Okay. Very nice.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And Carolyn, do you have any? That might be off. How about you, Giovanni?
It's got one. Let's put it on Scarlett.
Sorry, John, I'm not painting today.
Not a problem.
Giovanni, you're ahead of yourself.
Like that.
Red, white, and blue.
Okay, John, this is my selection. A couple of blue and a couple of red and titanium white on candy sticks. It's not a real Caesar because it's a Christmas time. For Carol is okay. And this is my selection of red. Is one red for the light and one red for the undertone. For the light is a queen coral, undertone is a alizarin crimson. For the dark, apply 2 layers in a different zone. For the blue, is light is cobalt blue, and the dark is phthalo blue red shade. Red shade because it is around the red is better. And for the shadows, apply the mixing phthalo blue red shade and alizarin crimson in a huge quantity of alizarin crimson. Apply many layers. And for the shadow in the white, apply the cobalt blue, little teeny cobalt blue with titanium white stick. And for the tail on the red, apply the first, create a pastel tone with queen coral.
A pink.
Is a little pink.
To do the sheen.
Yeah, very nice.
It's very, very fast. Apply a little tone of white. Apply another level of shadows. It's a beautiful combination for creating this candy sticks. Is a queen coral is the best color for me because it's a central color of the primary. It's very, very perfect. It's very simple.
Nice.
Nancy was saying it looks like a barber pole. That's what I thought too. It's like, it's a beautiful, very cool. Hello, Sabine. Okay. So tomorrow, the guest artist is from Brazil. And Catherine and I met him in Brazil. We were doing a discussion of pigments. So it'd be
Rafael
really-
Pita.
yeah, it's gonna be great to see him again. God, it's amazing how fast time goes. It's just scary.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, you were there with us, Angela.
Yes.
Seems like it was like yesterday. And it's like, oh my
Yes.
God,
And it was last November, my God.
I know. It just goes so quick.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Yes.
once you hit 50, you go, you want things to slow down, not so much speed up. But boy, they just go quick. So this right here, it's kind of interesting. I'll show it to you on where I tell you what it is. You probably already know what it is. But that's what it looks like in mass tone. It's a really gorgeous blue. And that's what it comes out with water. And that's lapis. So
Oh,
lapis.
lapis.
Okay.
And then this one right here, what do you think that one is?
Hmm.
It's PV19.
Could it be a pearly or a,
Yeah.
sorry.
Pyrrole crimson.
Close. So it's
Mayan
PV19.
red. Mayan red. No.
No. So PV19 is either going to be a quin red, a quin rose, or a quin.
Coral. No.
It's quin,
Magenta.
it's quin rose. It's a really pretty. It's a little hard with this camera. I think that some things it oversaturates and others it doesn't. So this is a little bit out of left hand. This is a color that we didn't have. And we were asked by Alvaro to see if we would come out with it. And so of course we would.
Álvaro Caliente. No.
No.
Ah, no, no.
Lavender.
Oh, lavender.
Lavender.
Yes, it's lavender. Lavender.
Yeah, because Álvaro uses lavender a lot.
And this is a family of colors I always find really interesting because they're usually very, very light. I'll show it to you. You can tell me what you think it is. Some more to it. What do you think?
Hmm.
Cobalt field blue.
That's very close.
Manganese.
Purple blue.
Manganese.
It's cobalt blue.
Oh,
Don't tell me.
Are you doing red, Angela? Are
Sorry,
you doing red right now?
I'm going to stop. Yeah. I had some issues with the blue, so I'm fixing those as best as I can.
It was really interesting last week to see Michael and to be able to not only do one painting, but also show us the glass with the ice cubes in it and still come in under an hour. It's like, oh God, that is so fast.
Yeah.
And somebody was saying, well, anybody can do it. You just need 30 years experience. And it's like, yeah, that's probably true, isn't it? I mean, you get really good at what you do.
Yeah, painting daily.
Yeah, he's just good. He's such a nice guy. What do you think?
That would be,
One more time?
no, didn't say anything.
Permanent red.
I'm sorry, one more time?
Permanent red.
Permanent red.
Nope. In fact, I didn't bring up permanent red.
orange. Is it orange?
Somebody was
Mayan orange?
It is a quinacridone.
Oh,
Somebody was saying quinacridone.
Coral.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you the okay sign. Yes, that's absolutely correct. It's quinacridone.
Coral.
Yeah, yeah. God, you guys are good at colors.
John, would you mind if I showed some of my swatches?
Oh, please, anybody can show their swatches. Absolutely, please.
Okay, so I don't have, so I found when I went to Vegas that the sticks are much easier for me. I can't figure out how to add enough water into the tube paint, but I don't have many blues or reds. So I did a few other colors too. But those are my swatches.
Very nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
you can't
Very
see
nice.
this one very well, but it's the pearlescent shimmer
Uh-huh.
or pearlescent white, excuse me, and it's really pretty in person.
In person.
So there you go.
Nice.
Very nice. Thank you.
It's lovely. I love your nails.
Thank you.
They go well with the paint.
Yes.
I'm starting with the reds.
So this is a really interesting color. Has not it, but what it's supposed to represent has an interesting history. It's a it's made from a root that is then put over a salt and made into a pigment. So it's a dye that is then put over a salt. That's how it originally was done. And
Or it's made of permanence.
Original, the original alizarin
Or it's
crimson.
meta.
it's It's the rose
madder.
This is the rose madder permanent, which is high performance pigments. But yes, but the thing I was talking about was the original rose madder and how the original rose madder was made from the rose madder root. And we reached a point that we could no longer guarantee continuity of color with it, because they just couldn't get it right anymore. It was always very difficult and very painstaking. And so we moved away from it and came up with the rose madder permanent, which we can absolutely guarantee continuity of color.
Wasn't it fugitive? And there were a lot of old masters that used it and lost their pinks a bit. Anybody?
Yes, absolutely. I've
Yeah.
done a lot of research into that, and definitely it was considered to be a fugitive, and that's why they often don't recommend crimson in the old paint series, because of that. The dynamic of the color fades, so it's still a pink, but it doesn't have the dynamic red anymore. It fades off to a pink.
Right.
So having a permanent now is fantastic, John. Thank you.
Oh yeah, dyes. Dyes are
Pretty.
is something that as a professional brand you want to not have, because they're very predictable and not in a good way.
Did you know the original walnut ink was used by the scribes in the churches because it faded away, and they could because they didn't have graphite pencils like we have, they could do their script in the walnut ink, and then when they knew it was correct and somebody type checked it as such, they then went over it with the more dynamic black inks. So they knew their script was correct, and any mistakes would fade away because the walnut ink would fade away.
Sarah asked how to make use of lapis lazuli, and I did a painting here, and the sky is made with the lapis lazuli.
Oh, very nice. Oh, very nice.
Wow. This is so the light. It's Sleeping Beauty.
Nice.
Wow. A beautiful sky color.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes.
And let's see, Larry, how about, so Angela, can we see your reds?
Yes.
See your work in process.
Wow. Oh, that's fun.
Yes, a lot of fun.
It looks like the inside of a flower.
Yeah, it could be. Yes, exactly. I started with quinacridone coral, and it's a color I like very much. I tried to mix with white. Here there is white.
Oh yeah.
And then I continued here at the bottom. There's carmine. I love the intensity of the carmine. And under this is quinacridone lilac. Going up here with white, a little bit of white, then opera pink. I don't know if you can see it. Opera pink here in the corner. And my favorite, the quinacridone red. Queen red and opera pink. For me, they make a very beautiful combination. And here it's all the shades, mixing white every now and then. And here I was just watering down. Here, I think, I'm not sure if it's magenta or quinacridone coral, I think, quinacridone coral in this corner. So we'll see how it ends. But the reds are, my favorite colors. And I love the vibrancy of them. Look at this, really, at this quinacridone. No, this is carmine. I love carmine also.
I like carmine too. It's pretty
Do you do any reds? Does anybody do any reds?
I have a red mix I could share.
Please.
Yeah, please.
Buffy. Was it
Hi.
here?
Yes. So
Ooh,
this is a mix that I really enjoy. And I heard somebody else say they really liked the quinacridone red, and Angela's painting with it. I agree, and you could see how pink it is. And if you mix it with the Perrion orange, you can get a much deeper, like fire engine red. Let's see, there we go. Well, let me turn down my light. Hold on, maybe you could see it a little bit better. There we go. And when you pour
Mhm.
them together, you can see all the beautiful colors that the two make. And since the Perrion is so, I don't know if I'm saying that right, John. How do you say the Perrion?
I say Perrion red, but I could be, that's just how I say it.
Okay, perfect. How he said it. It's highly staining, much like the quinacridones. So they don't really compete with each other. They really blend together really beautifully.
I love these mixes.
That's,
Okay.
yeah, it's very pretty, very pretty.
Thank you.
John,
Yes,
Letitia, have the final painting by Giovanni.
When I use the red, white, and blue.
oh, very nice.
That's
Oh,
so
nice.
This is a fabulous spot in Los Angeles. It's in front of Los Angeles
Car Museum.
LACMA,
museum.
Museum of Contemporary.
Yes, this is a cerulean blue in 4 steps. Is a very light and point with my tiny brush. I zooming.
Wow.
I realize with this brush, very tiny.
How many zeros?
Is a 0, number 0, only one. Only one.
Oh,
And the red is a Quincora and Mayan orange mixing, and the undertone is the bandit brown and neutral tint all together. And apply the tiny white and Chinese white for the light and down of the painting. It's a cobalt blue and verditer blue for these mixings.
That's very pretty.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
That looks like it could be a photograph.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you very much.
Leo,
Ah,
from my screen, I see the first 2 letters of coffee chopped off. So can you just wondering what it looks like full view of the piece?
oh, yes.
then maybe you have to put the camera up.
Or is it?
This is the reference of another painting by Giovanni. So it's a painting inside the painting.
I like that. The paint inside the paint is really cool.
Oh,
The
yeah.
poster on the
Yeah.
window.
True.
Look at that.
Painting inside a painting. I
Yeah,
remember that one. I saw that in Russia. Is
Yes,
that?
that
this is my demo in Moscow.
Yes, exactly. I
really-
remember that.
I zoom in.
The painting.
Oh, gorgeous.
That's
What a good idea.
wonderful.
Mikhail
It's
Tarshenko.
very tiny. It's with my finger.
That is the Starbucks, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a cup of Starbucks. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
yes.
that painting very well.
and applying the whole of the keys. This is my sign.
Hidden sign.
Is my name. Is my name with 20 brush.
0.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Wow. That's cool. Okay, I have 2 left. So what do you think this one is?
Opera. No, Quincoro.
That's a good guess. It's not opera pink though.
Pink.
Pink, then
Quinacridone rose.
quinacridone pink or quinacridone.
Quinacridone pink.
Yeah.
And how about this one?
This is
Hmm.
orange or I roll.
I roll Scarlet.
It's actually a red. It's very, very opaque. And it's made using co-precipitated pigments.
Anthraquinone red?
So there's only two things that use co-precipitated pigments. Cascade green, and then there's another family that uses them.
Wow. Cannot remember.
Cadmium
Oh.
U. This is cadmium red medium U.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
And you're right. If you say it looks kind of orange in front of me, it looks very
Yeah.
orange. Yeah. Buffett, did you say you lived in Calamasa?
Yes, I do.
Ah, I lived there for 3 years.
I couldn't believe that. You're the first person that knew where I was talking about.
Yeah. I went to Yucaipa High School.
Wow. See, you'll have to come visit soon. You
Yeah,
can
very
go to
fun.
your old stopping grounds.
I have very fond memories of Calamasa.
Yeah, I was actually going to say Gio's painting reminds me of the type of shops we have out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
We have a lot of really old buildings. So any of you that want to do a plein air day, let me know. A lot of really cool old buildings to paint.
We used to have
Tomorrow
cattle.
I'll come in the morning and be back in the afternoon.
Perfect. Can't wait, Angela. Can't wait. I'll have the coffee ready.
Okay.
We used to have cattle, and I remember we'd go down to the everybody would be closed on Saturday and Sunday. Town would kind of close at 6 o'clock back then, but you knew everybody. So you call the person that owned the store, veterinary store, and they would come and they would open it up and, you know, give you what medicines you need for your animals. And it was a really great way of life, you know, that you can have in little towns. I know little towns get bigger all the time and that changes, but I remember that it was just really, really nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
it's definitely still has all that small town feel. It is growing, but lots of animals. You can go down the road and see emu and goats and sheep and
That's
chicken
cool.
farms, and yeah, that's awesome, John.
Yeah, our original farm was a chicken farm.
John,
Oh.
Yes.
hello, John.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. I'm Erkin from Turkey. It's midnight here. Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
sorry,
Yes,
background noises.
Oops.
But I didn't miss.
You're in Bodrum?
Yes,
You're in,
I'm
my
in Bodrum.
my daughter lives in Dacha.
Really?
Yes,
So close here.
yes.
Okay. I just wanted to ask John, do you have cadmium-free products, red or
Yeah.
orange?
Yeah. So all of these cadmiums, cadmium U, it's a U, which means it's not cadmium. So they're all cadmium free.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's the only way to go, I think. Love
Thank
your
you.
country. Yeah.
In Bodrum, there is a big shop that sells Daniel Smith in Bodrum. No?
Here in Bodrum is famous with sea sponge.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes.
I have just bought one piece of original sea sponge for watercolor texture.
Yeah.
Do
Very
you
nice.
know Sanastal, Art Sanastal?
Sorry?
Do you know, I think it's called Sanastal, John? Help
It
me.
is. Yeah. Our
Art
Sanastal.
Sanastal in Bodrum, do you know that?
I don't know.
And you have to visit and say, hello,
Okay.
I'm a friend of Daniel Smith, and they will be very happy.
Say the name please again.
Art Sanastal.
Art Sanasal. Yes. I know. Sorry, but I know that they work in Istanbul, not in Bodrum.
Both.
Both. Okay. I find the place and
So,
say
John,
hello. Say
Say hi.
hello from you.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, thank you, thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
everybody, I hope you can join tomorrow to see Rafael from Brazil and his technique. Thank you so much for joining today. Had some issues with my my desktop. It always seems that my desktop computer wins. It's hard to fight against those computers. But good seeing all of you. Thank you for taking part. If there's something you want to see, a color you want to see, a mix you want to see, something you want to learn, please send me a message, because I really want to make it where it's educational for all of us. But until we see again, thank you all for joining. It's been great.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Enjoy the
See you.
day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
I always look
See you
forward to
tomorrow.
this. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.